Welcome to the Vulnerable Room. Hey everybody, welcome on back to the Vulnerable Room. I am your host, Darnique, and this is season 5, y'all. We have been going at it for 5 seasons, and I am so happy to be back. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. As there's been a lot going on in my life right now. So if you see me looking down a little bit, I have some notes that I want to make sure that I cover everything. I want to make sure that I get out everything that I need to say. So, this feels scary. This is very different for me. Normally when I'm in the studio, I have guests with me, but I felt that I needed to get this out in the appropriate way. As I said, I wanted to do more visuals, so here I am. So this episode is not our norm cheery return session, like a FaceTime girl chat, but it's me discussing the real that's going on. I just want to be real with you right now. The title of this episode is called Vulnerable and Unfiltered. So we about to get real. So what I've been going through and why this break lasted way longer than expected. The last episode I put out was back in August, and I said to myself, all right, so I'll be back in September. I feel like by then things will get better. This season is personal. It's not the perfect version of me. It's the version that's still going through things, that's still healing, and that's still rebuilding. Normally, I talk about things after it's done, and I can speak from a healing standpoint. However, this is going on in real time, and y'all deserve the vulnerable me. When I have my guests on, the guests come and they lay it all. They lay their feelings bare. And for me, I feel like I've been a little bit, I guess you can say like shine a little bit to the background or speaking from a standpoint where everything is much better. So let's start with the truth, the break and the pause. I needed a break. When I wrapped up season 4, like I said, I told myself I'm going to take a little reset and enjoy the rest of the summer. I had a ball, okay? I went to Vinci and I did a lot of activities, especially like fetes and whatnot during the summer. And I've been spending more time with myself. I know y'all may see me on social media having a ball, but I've been in a season of transition. Since the very end of June, everything in my world flipped upside down. I lost my job right before going to Carnival, and I already had the intention of moving back home by the end of the summer. That was always the plan, but to experience job loss where right now we're in a period of time where I feel like everybody is kind of going through the same thing, but they're so scared to speak on it. It's me. I'm people. I'm scared to speak on it because I'm embarrassed. I've never been in a situation like this in my life before where I feel like I don't have the answers to my next step. And this has been like a season for me of just a lot of transition. In the background, before I lost my job, I was slowly preparing for my move back home, like slowly moving my things over to my parents' house. And when I lost my job, I'm like, yo, what is happening? But I'm not going to lie, I felt at peace because God knew I was over that place. I didn't feel appreciated there. I felt like they wanted to keep me in a corner. They didn't want me to shine. And I know I'm a intelligent young woman. And I just felt like being the only Black woman, especially in that place, I just felt like I wasn't appreciated. Okay, so I told y'all this is going to be a little hard. Like, I went back and forth with myself, like, I don't want to talk about this because it's embarrassing. I never I never been in a predicament where I don't bounce back. Like, I normally bounce back so quick, but to be in a situation for months, we're talking the last Monday of June up until now, currently as we're talking, and feeling like hopeless, feeling like, it's eating at my it's eating a little bit at my confidence. And I just had days where I just didn't feel like myself. I didn't want to talk to anyone because I'm that type of person. I don't want to give off negative energy. Like, I want you to come and talk to me. That's how I am, but I just don't know how to sometimes allow people to hold space for me as well. I felt so heavy, as I know the world is feeling heavy right now, not knowing what's going to happen. And thank God, like, I had severance. So that got me by. But to be in a predicament where you're just applying job after job, and you're not landing anything, it really eats away at your confidence. Like, y'all know, y'all were here when I, graduated from school with my MHA from graduate school. So now 2 degrees hotter. And to be in a predicament where jobs don't want to pay you what you deserve, or they don't, maybe it's phantom, because there's a lot of phantom job listings going on where the position is not even real, but they're posting it, or they already have somebody lined up for the position. So waking up some days and seeing a rejection letter from a place that I applied to really ate at my soul. It ate at my soul. And because I worked so hard to where I am right now, and to feel so like stripped away from everything, feels doesn't feel good. But I've decided I'm going to take this time to pour into me, and I'm going to give my problems over to God, because if I sit here and I carry everything with me over and over and over, day after day, I'm going to make myself sick. And God says to give your problems over to him. He will carry the burden. And I just had to surrender and say, God, you know what? I know you got me. You've showed me that you got me time and time again. But there be some days, I ain't gonna lie, and I know some of y'all could relate. There be some days I'm like, hello? It's me. Help. But I definitely understand it has to be on his timing. So I'm just trusting that God will open doors for me when it's appropriate. So let's talk about the reality. Like I said, there's days I don't feel like myself. I know I'm in a transitioning season, but sometimes it's easy to question your purpose, your value, and your timing. I've had moments I felt so disconnected from everything. I didn't want to get out of bed. I felt disconnected from my goals, my faith, my creativity. And what I learned is that resilience is not just when everything gets better and it shows how much you've overcome. Resilience isn't pretending you're okay. Y'all see me? I could tell y'all I'm okay right now because I'm having a good day. But there's some days I'm like, cut the show. Literally, cut the show. Get the camera out my face. I don't want to talk to nobody. Leave me be. Leave me to my lonesome. And resilience is just allowing yourself to still show up. I have not taken one break from posting on social media because I felt like being active on my podcast page not only shows my listeners I'm still here, but it's an outlet for me. It's an outlet for me to release. In this season, I'm talking to God more. Like I said, I've given my problems over to Him. Some days I just sit in silence because I literally have nothing to say. What I realize is that this version of me is a version I've never seen before. So it don't feel good some days, but I know this version of me is becoming softer. If y'all know me, y'all know I could be a little rah-rah, but I'm becoming more softer. And it doesn't mean that because of what's going on, it doesn't mean that I'm not getting stronger. I'm learning that slowing down doesn't mean losing. It means realigning. And I feel like this season, this is what's transpiring right now. I'm realigning with what God has in store for me. He wants me to sit in silence and be still. That's all I kept hearing is be still. And there's some days like, sorry y'all, there's some days I'm like stubborn as hell because I feel like I have to get up, I have to move. And I still show up, I go to the gym, it's like clockwork every day. I go to the gym, I still indulge in my, self-care when I can. But going to the gym, for example, is a way that I can start my mornings. I have control over it. But before I go to the gym, I've been opening my Bible more. I've been reading the word, actually reading the word, not just like on my Bible app, not saying that it's a problem with that, but I've actually been reading and in tune. And I feel like sometimes what I read is in alignment with where I am or how I'm feeling that morning. Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. It's a lot, but bear with me. One day I was feeling so heavy, and it was the day for me to read Job chapters 1-2. And it was meant for me to read it because if you're familiar with the story of Job, God stripped Job from every single thing, from his children, his flock, everything that God has blessed him with, he was stripped away from. But guess what? He did not lose sight. He did not lose the reason why that, he was there for God sent him on a mission. He's there for a purpose. He did not stop believing in God, although people told him, you're foolish. Even his wife told him, you're foolish to still believe in God after he stripped you away from everything. And those chapters, those scriptures resonated with me. I'm sorry. It resonated with me because I feel like I'm being stripped away from everything this season. And I'm not going to lose faith. I'm not going to lose faith. I continue to praise God. I continue to thank God, even when I don't feel like my situation is going to get better. I know that I trust and believe him, right? And I said I gave my problems over to him. So I'm just going to continue to praise him. I'm going to continue to believe in him. I'm going to continue to show up for myself. I have breath in my lungs. My limbs are moving. I can walk. I can go to the gym. Some people can't even do that. You see everything that's going on in the world. I have a roof over my head. I have a place to sleep at night, comfortably, by the way. And I have food to eat. So I'm thankful. So that, like I said, those scriptures resonated with me. And every day I just keep that in the back of my mind. Job had nothing. God stripped him away from everything. He still praised him. He still showed up. He still did this. He still did that. And that's where I'm at. So let's talk about the shift. This new season for me and the vulnerable room is all about me showing up in real time. Showing y'all the real, Not when life is perfect and happy and everything is like, the dust settles and I can talk about it now. No, I'm talking about things in real time. And that is going to help me heal. And this will show you, life is not perfect. Even when things are in progress, you can still keep it real. And I'm sure somebody will appreciate it. Like I said, I normally speak from a place where it's past tense. And I'm able to speak from a place of wholeness. But right now, y'all, I don't want to say I'm broken, but I feel naked. I feel naked. The things that used to, I guess, we find confidence in at this big age, I don't have it. But I'm still here and I'm grateful. I allow my guests to come and sit with me and they bear it all. But I can't create a place called the vulnerable room, right? And I'm having guests that you guys are not familiarized with come and spill their guts, literally. And I'm not doing the same because I'm afraid. I don't want to be embarrassed. And I'm telling y'all right now, I can confidently say it's still growing pains. I still feel a little embarrassed sitting here and talking to you guys, but I'm not going to lie, I feel relieved. I was nervous coming into the studio, nervous thinking about booking a session, but I said, no, I owe you guys this. I need to show up. I need to show up for myself and I need to show up for you guys. I'm no longer rushing the next chapter. I'm learning to appreciate the one that I'm in right now. I'm doing it scared. I remember Roxy, she posted on Instagram talking about doing it scared. I am doing it scared right now. Okay? I'm doing it emotionally. I'm doing it unfiltered. So season 5 will look and sound a little different, more heart, more transparency, and more convos that meet us where we actually are. Because let's be for real, like a lot is going on outside of our four walls every day, every single day. And it's becoming heavier each day, especially now around the holiday season. And I know that my testimony will be able to help others that are going through similar things like myself. What I am going to say is don't be scared. Don't be afraid to ask for help. If you need to reach out to your parents, do so. If you need to reach out to a family member you're close to and you need help, if they could help you, reach out to them. Don't be scared. Don't feel ashamed because we are in some scary times right now. Scary times where we have to lean on community. Some people don't even know when they're going to have their next meal. They don't even know when they're going to be able to provide a full meal for their kids. I don't even have kids right now. God's willing, one day I pick me them. But but right now, I can't even imagine. I tip my hat off to anybody who's a parent during this comment because, baby, cut the show. Cut the show. But like I said, I am proud of all of us for still showing up and moving and grooving, hustling, bustling. But it is okay to be still. It's okay to be still and try to figure out, not even figure out what is going on, what are you doing next? Yes, be proactive. But let God talk to you during these times because I know he's talking to me. So what I've been doing, a little bit more of that. I know I touched on that. I've been pouring into myself. I've been spending time with God, reading the word more, showing up to the gym, creating more content, spending time with family and friends, reading books, etc. I want to take this time to thank my family and friends who checked in on me, encouraged me, and just reminded me that I'm not alone. If I didn't tell you what was going on with me, it's not because I didn't want to. if we're close, this is a little disclaimer. I didn't want to keep reliving the horror, okay? Which is what I'm going through in a sense. It's not a horror. That's the wrong word to use. I think I would use mess, because I know eventually this will turn into a beautiful mess, right? But I just want to say, like, I just wasn't in a place to talk about it. So please don't make it about you if you happen to hit me up and say, Tarnique, I didn't know that you was going through all of this. Why didn't you tell me? Please don't. And this is just me being real right now. Please don't. I will accept I didn't know, or not that I didn't know. I'm sorry you're going through this. Not saying I'm looking for that, but if you're, wanting to reach out to share some encouraging words, that's exactly what it is. Just share some encouragement during this time with me. I just, like, sometimes I just wanted to be, I keep hitting this mic. Sometimes I just wanted to be in the moment with my loved ones and just enjoy. I didn't want to be a Debbie Downer. I didn't want to talk about what was going on. But again, for those that have checked in on me, even on my days where I went silent, thank you. Because those were the days where I felt the heaviest. Especially after I moved out of my apartment. Child. I just felt like, damn, like, this is real. But I will say, it was a beautiful day on October 1st when I woke up and I didn't have to pay rent, okay? But like I said, one thing that's been keeping me grounded lately are my mornings. That is my love language to myself. Just waking up, breathing, allowing myself to exist and not have a to-do list. That's what's been healing me. And also, seeing everything going on currently in the world, being able to thank God that, things could be worse, but I thank God for where I am. And I have parents that love me and they support me. I'm grateful. As what's the trend on TikTok or Instagram? I'm rich because X, Y, and Z. I am rich because I have loved ones that care about me. I am rich because I'm waking up every day and I'm able to maneuver. I'm rich because I have breath flowing through my lungs, air flowing through my lungs. I'm rich because I can eat what I would like to eat. I'm rich because I have a roof over my head and a place to sleep at night. So I don't want to keep rambling, but I just want to say thank you to everyone who's still here rocking with me. Still listening, still streaming, still downloading, still supporting, still reposting, everything. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I truly appreciate it. I see you and I love you. To my new listeners, I am so sorry that this may seem a little somber, but we get real here in the vulnerable room and things just have gotten realer. And I appreciate you tapping in. And I don't want to apologize for the tone I'm setting for this season. I just want to continue to show up for myself and be able to speak from a heartfelt standpoint. And I told you guys, I don't want to get on the mic and just speak just to speak because it's not authentic. I want to be able to sit here in this chair and be able to talk to you guys and be able to relate. I'm pretty sure there's some listeners I have that are going through exactly what I'm going through right now. And if you are, we could chat. And I actually have an episode coming up regarding that, job loss. So stay tuned for that. But like I said, this is real life. This is real time. And I appreciate everybody who is supporting me behind this mic. Not everything will be upbeat, razzle dazzle. No. We are getting real here. We are getting real. And no more of me shying away from the mic when things are happening in real time. Yeah, I'm going to give myself some time to process it, but I'm no longer shying away from it. I'm no longer going to feel embarrassed. I'm no longer going to feel like I have to have everything together. Yeah. Just a little bit to talk about like my job loss. The reason why I don't feel so heavy about it, like I said, I just wanted to find a way out. And I feel like God just removed me and he made sure that I was set up well. And I was, and I am, and I'm thankful for that. I kept freaking out. I kept saying to myself, what am I going to do when my severance pay stops? What am I going to do? But you know what? Like I said, I gave my problems over to God and he's going to figure it out. My job is to continue to pray and thank him for the many blessings he has bestowed upon me. Okay? And I don't mean to get all churchy, spiritual, but we are in some scary times, whether you realize it or not. And I'm sorry, I keep touching myself because it's a little, what's the word? I got the jitters right now. I'm trying to, but we are in some scary times and we really have to love on one another. We really have to show up for one another. You never know what silent battles people are dealing with during these times. It's scary, y'all. It's real, y'all. Like, it's heavy. It's heavy, and it's not up to us to carry it. We have to give it over to him. And I'm done with my notes, but I'm allowing God to talk to me right now. And I just know that things will get better. That is my prayer for the new year. Things have to get worse before they get better. And we are in some ghetto fabulous times, okay? We all know we are sick of that man in office. He came to destroy, but we serve a God that will uplift and that will remove things that are not of him. And that's all I got to say about that. Every dog has his day, okay? But yeah, like even right now I just feel a little lighter talking to you guys. Like even waking up, I've applied, let me tell y'all, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I've applied to over, I want to say 50 to 60 jobs since June, probably more than that. And when I tell you, I would either get denied or someone from HR would reach out to me. I have a phone interview and then they'll be like, oh, we'll pass on your resume on to the hiring manager. And then that's it. Nothing becomes of it. And I'm just like, yo, how did I even get here? How did I even get here? Why am I here? But I know this will all make sense in the end. Some of the jobs I even applied to are not, they're above my earned pay grade. Just to get my foot back in the door, I've applied to those positions, but some people don't even let me come in because I guess I'm overqualified. And I don't feel like that's something, at first I was just like, damn, but at the end of the day, I work hard to get to where I'm at. There's been sleepless nights. I've been up with grad school, writing papers, studying for exams, reading, the list goes on. And I am not going to allow someone to discredit me and my credentials. If you don't want to pay, that's on you. Take that up with you and your mother, okay? But I know that eventually someone is going to give me the opportunity. Just like how hard it was for me to find my promotion. At least I was still in system. But when I had my promotion, it just came at a perfect time. Just finished school and I graduated and someone gave me an opportunity. And I already know it's going to happen, maybe similar. And I've had my loved ones tell me, like, God got something big lined up for you. And there's some days I'm like, I don't know. I think God needs to reroute his way back over here because I think he forgot about me. And then there's some days I'm like, all right, I received that from your lips to God's ears. And I believe that too. I believe that God wants to put me in a place where it's going to elevate me and allow me to show my level of intelligence and not be, pushed into a corner just because, the color of my skin or because, they feel like whatever the reason may be. Okay. But we're going to get real in season 5 and we are going to touch on any and everything that you can think of. I normally do 10 episodes, but we'll see where God leads me. I have some amazing guests lined up for you guys. Amazing. And I'm sure you'll be able to learn from them too as well. So with that being said, this season I'm promising perfection. I'm promising honesty. If you're in a transition right now, if you're rebuilding, if you're just trying to find your way, I hope this episode reminds you that you're not alone. We're going to grow together this season. You're going to be able to be vulnerable, unfiltered, and unapologetic. Unapologetic. Let me say that line one more time. I hope this season reminds you that you're not alone. We're going to grow together this season. We're going to become more vulnerable. You're going to see a different side of me. And we're going to do it scared. Welcome to season 5 of The Vulnerable Room. Come on, y'all. We know these combos ain't for the faint. Thank you for listening to the Vulnerable Room podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, head on over to Anchor or Spotify to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Follow at The Vulnerable Room on Instagram or visit thevulnerableroom.com for the latest tea. See you next time. Love you all and have a great week.